What's up, everyone? This is Aaron with Elite Watersports, and we have Reedin in the house down here, and in St. Petersburg, Florida, that is. And we're super stoked to get all their new products in, especially like the Whisperer fully stocked, the 15, 17, and don't forget about the 13. 13 is amazing. But this video is going to be all about the Dreamstick X V2. Stay tuned. This thing is pretty rad. Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Watersports. This video is going to be all about that Dreamstick X V2, the second iteration of this awesome bar. And Kevin and the team over there has really stepped it up. Once again, every time with Reedin, you're going to see huge improvements when they release a new product. Let's do that unboxing. Grab the knife, pop it open. Kept a little tabs. Now these bars are actually moderately priced in my opinion. At $6.39 is retail. You can get some V1s for like $3.99. Still an awesome bar, but let's check this out. Now this thing's got a lot of features, so stay tuned. I'm gonna get into all the details on it. Come on, just come out in the box. More boxes. So this is how we're gonna ship it to you. Oh, nice little instruction manual. We don't need that. All right, lots of goodies. It comes with a leash. Everybody's stoked on extra leashes. It looks like some parts in here, probably like bungees or swivels, a little fishing line and some bungees and whatnot, maintenance stuff. Usually you lose it and just call us up for that stuff. And nice packaging. Let me just rip through this. So the V1 was pretty cool. The V1 had like a auto unswivel and pretty nice lines on it, but they wanted to do a little bit better. So they switched it up a bit and changed. The number one thing that you'll see is going to be the SK99 lines. This is, as you guys may know, Elite Watersports has gone through the test of time of all the race scene for like foil racing. We were doing custom foil bars, custom line lengths. We're still making professional bar setups, control bar setups for everybody, doing custom line lengths and whatnot. And these lines, I haven't seen these on the market before. They're SK99, their own like version of it. They're going to be extremely strong, a lot thinner, and more resistance to abrasion. And they have this kind of stiff feel to it. So untangling them are going to be a lot easier. Let's just start dumping these lines out, and I'll go through the features as I dump them off. If you guys haven't rode a Reedin yet, it's taken us here at Elite Watersports a couple years to let them, roll into it and kind of find their niche and their audience and start to really, progress their brand and start to see what works, what doesn't work. And now with a couple of the lead designers in the world, they're making some awesome kites. They've always been pretty good, but the new iteration of kites have been amazing. And this bar needs to complement it. So that's why they focused on making this one better. Let's start with line lengths. And so 22 plus 2 is going to be 24-meter lines, so 2-meter extensions. And then the pigtails are going to be out of the box universal all the way around. So you can basically take these pigtails, rearrange them to fit on any kite in the world. Let's start dropping them. Now there's a feature that I read about the lines being foldable so that you can do short line lengths without having to like take segments off and whatnot. It's a little on the complicated side, but if you're teaching like kids and stuff and you really want to get into short lines for them or do a short line session, it is kind of a double up process. And we'll get into details towards the end of this video on that when we go out to the yard. So yeah, I'm gonna drop these lines real fast. So now that I've dumped all these lines off in a nice organized mess on the ground, let's get into it. The first thing is like industry standard. You got to make this chicken loop easy for us. And they did it. They went ahead with the seatbelt click. It just clips in there like that. So you don't need like 10 hands. And it also, they made it so that it's easy to wash out on the inside of this. So no sand debris, there's no springs in there. It's just this one simple bungee, and they actually come with a couple extra bungees in case this wears down. I mean, years down the road, not right away, but once it wears down, you can replace that. Super easy. Looks like just some eel nose pliers. Overall, small chicken loops. Let's see here. Smaller chicken loop on it, so you don't actually have to upgrade right away. And I feel like I can do some unhooking on this, no problem. Looks like it's really squared off too to get it hooked back in, which is really nice featured. It is kind of bungee flexible, so in time, maybe this does wear out a little bit and starts pinching itself, but pretty easy to replace. You just have one pin right here, and you can replace it to whatever chicken loop you want. And as far as like suicide or unhooking goes, I think that's big enough for you to go ahead and hook onto the edge of this instead of having multiple loops and holes and whatnot and having this too bulky. They do say in the manual that they designed it so that your flagging line doesn't twist up, that it's always auto like untangling. If you keep on looping your kite the same direction all the time, usually that flag out line will spiral and spin the same direction over and over again and causing it to possibly break down the road. They said that they improved that. They also, with it being auto and swivel, they actually put some ceramic bearings on the bottom of this. This has been in the industry for a while, but they did a little bit larger bearings so that the sand doesn't like get trapped in there. It kind of washes out a lot easier. You can see some gaps in that. That's really nice. Going for the auto and swivel, you're going to start seeing this throughout the industry a little bit more. It seems to be like the favored solution to auto and swivel. But the problems that other companies have had is that when you sheet in your bar and turn at the same time, it kind of pinches, it kind of gets stuck, and you get a lot of friction there. And of course, a solution around that is always having a wet bar. But the way that they designed it on the inside with their aircraft aluminum, grade aluminum, made it so that it actually, you can turn the bar and sheet in and go. They say that, and we've used it, it has worked pretty well, but if it is completely dry, if you're just mowing the lawn, it does get a little sticky, especially if somebody is not washing it prior to getting into the water. So if it's full of sand and they haven't dipped their bar in the water to kind of wash that grit and grime out of there, it is going to roughen this plastic in time. Overall, I've looked through it. It looks like an easy part to replace. It's something that we'll have in stock here at Elite Watersports, but we're looking at like years down the road for your general consumer. If you're a pro, just rinse your bar and you'll never have to replace that. Let's talk about the bar. The bar itself, Kevin really wanted to have a skinnier bar for hands. A lot of bars on the market, a couple brands in particular, have really thick diameter ones that actually wear my hands out. It's like I'm grabbing hold of like a shovel the whole time. And this is going to be light and feels a little bit more ergonomic, especially although I have really big hands, I still don't feel like I'm going to fatigue with this. I think it's going to give me a little bit more input. I have rode this bar a couple of times, but I haven't rode it in big winds and I haven't had long sessions on it, but I think it'll be just fine. Of course, most bars on the market are going to be adjustable. So going from 43 centimeter to 46 centimeter, they're going to be or 49 centimeter. Super easy to adjust. You're going to pull this thing out of here, and they put a little hook in here. Let's see if I can get that out. Sometimes you can just reach in and grab it, but there we go. So kind of a cool feature. Other brands out there, you have to really like pinch it and pull it and you can't get it out and you need tools, or you just use the line on these. You pull these out, turn them, put them back in. Now your bar is adjusted to a new size. Other thing that's really cool, and I think this kind of comes from Damien, but just overall experience as a kiteboarder, long time in the industry, is that your lines do eventually get stretched out or change lengths, or maybe you want just a different feel on the bar and your bar might be out of tune. Well, they give you a lot of adjustability and it's all kind of hidden away underneath the float, and the float doesn't have to be massive to accommodate all the extra line. So look how many knots they've allowed you to adjust for. They're really adamant on their instruction manual to make sure that all the lines, all 4 lines, are exactly the same length. That's going to be fully powered up and the bar fully sheeted in. We got videos on that, so check that out on how to tune a bar correctly. So adding all those extra knots there, that's a big plus in my book. So you can really dial your lines in. Remember, this is SK99, so you're not gonna have to tune it as frequent, but you're still gonna have to tune it, especially if bar's sitting there for a while, dries up, just being in storage in your garage for a little while. So get in the habit of tuning your bar. Next thing is a pretty standard cleat in the industry and pretty good throw on it. They do make this in a short throw bar and a long throw bar, from what I understand. I'm going to tell you this, is that throw is not that long. Most people in the industry, especially with the shorter chicken loop, are going to be just fine on the standard bar. But if you have the kids with the really, really short arms, sure, you can go with that. And just a standard cam cleat. I like this version rather than like a click version or, the old time Ocean Rodeo bar. I just like simplicity, and I want to see all my lines and components. So I'm gonna always kind of gear towards having a nice, easy cleat system. Changed my mind on that, but man, I've seen a lot of things happen where I can't see the lines on internal mechanisms. So overall opinion, I think it's pretty legit. I'm gonna be super happy with this, and durability wise, I think I can put this in my lessons fleet and do, hundreds of hours of lessons on these without, worrying about it looking too bad or becoming unsafe. So this Dreamstick, made by Reedin, version 2, they talk about folding lines. What are folding lines? Well, that's just how to get the lines shorter, like shorty lines, without having all these different extensions built into the lines. They're just gonna be standard 20 plus 2, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to shorten your lines. Now this works really, really well for like teaching people on really high winds, or lightweight riders. But the only downfall is that when you're overlapping these lines, you're essentially going to have 8 lines together. So as they fold over, you're gonna have 8 lines instead of having 4 lines. But remember, they're gonna be under tension. And if they're under tension, it's gonna be fine for teaching and stuff like that. But Damien created this system just to have the versatility for lesson centers or for the guys that are hucking big loops on short lines. In the box comes with this little pigtail, and I've already ran the lines out and folded them over on the end, came back, and if you notice, the yoke up here has this little teeny hole. And yeah, sure, it could be used probably for like a 5th line system, but he made it so that you fit this in here like that, and then you tie a knot. Now in his video, which is a lot more descriptive, he teaches you how to tie the knot better. I'm just gonna do like a French knot, French overhand knot, like that. And what you're doing is you're taking the front lines, and front lines, you'll take the pigtails off. And you'll attach them to here. So essentially you just shorten the lines by half, approximately 12 meters or so, 11 meters depending on, but 12 meters if it's 24, with the 2-meter extensions on the end. So you're attaching both front lines to that yoke, and that's what shortened the front lines. Now the back lines, what you'll be doing is taking the pigtail off, or the steering lines rather. You'll take these pigtails off, and then you'll actually be feeding, you make a lark's head, you'll be feeding this line back through here and attaching to the ends of your leader lines. And that's what shortens the steering lines. Now, as far as where you fold the line over, I'll show you that. So you want to make sure that you're organized. This isn't a great example, but I know that this is my steering line. I'll figure out the exact end of it where it folds over, and this is where I'm going to be attaching the pigtails. Just like that. And I'll do this to all 4 lines, making sure that I know which ones are my steering lines and which ones are my front lines. So that's how the pigtails go on it. So like I said, great for shortening your lines up, having the versatility. I believe it goes from like 24, 22, all the way down to 13, 12, 11 meter lines. So you have those variations. It's kind of cool that the bar can do it. Yes, you're gonna have double up on the lines. It's not just a singular line, but at least now you're able to teach on the same bar without having to take all this line off and stuff. Kind of a cool system. So check it out. There's more detail with Damien's videos online on the website, Reedin's website, and on YouTube, so check that out. Overall view, I like it. I'm gonna rock it, and we have Reedin in the shop. Can't wait to get out on the water. Our season's coming up. This is Aaron with Elite Watersports. If you have any questions at all, just give us a call here at the shop or text us at the shop. Same number, 727-800-2202, or check us out on the website and leave some comments in the comment section. Like, subscribe, you know the deal. Thanks.